Your kid is secretly running a "can I trust you" algorithm in their head, updating it every single time you react to something they do. Lose your temper, score drops. Stay calm, score rises. Admit your own mistake, bonus points unlocked. They're tracking you more accurately than any parenting app you've ever downloaded. And here's the part almost no parent ever sees coming. Their biggest trust leaps happen in the moments you're least proud of, when you almost lose it, then switch to connection instead. Kids watch that micro switch like it's a survival skill. Today, the 11 invisible habits that decide whether your kid brings you the truth or hides it. Number 1, the truth paradox. Kids don't learn to trust you when everything's calm. They learn to trust you when life goes sideways and you don't transform into a budget Marvel villain. They shatter your favorite mug. You say, accidents happen, instead of unleashing a B-movie rage roar. That moment rewires their brain more than 100 perfect days ever could. Think back to your own childhood. The moments you felt safest weren't the gold stars. They were the "I messed up and they didn't freak out" moments. The D on the test that didn't end with "enjoy your future under a bridge." Trust is built in the 2-second window between mistake and reaction. When your kid's nervous system is scanning you like airport security. Am I about to get understanding or emotional whiplash? That tiny pause is where trust either grows or face plants. If this is already making your parenting brain update its own trust algorithm, hit subscribe so you don't miss Sticko's next upgrade. Number 2, the confession economy. Here's the parenting glitch nobody warned you about. Kids run on a confession economy. Every truth they tell you has a price tag. Every lie has a discount code. Confess to eating the last cookie? 1 time out. Hide it successfully. Free cookie? 0 consequences. Elite criminal status unlocked. But watch what happens when you lower the confession tax. When your reactions are calm instead of catastrophic, your kid suddenly turns into a contestant on Who Wants to Tell the Truth? I failed my spelling test, and I forgot to turn in my homework, and I might have taught the class hamster a swear word. Their brain is always calculating. Chance of getting caught times size of punishment divided by relief of telling the truth. The real magic? Truth becomes easier than hiding when your response shifts from "why would you draw on the wall?" to "okay, how do we fix it together?" That's the moment you stop being the judge and become the safest place to tell the truth. Number 3, mirror neurons gone wild. Your kid's brain has tiny emotional photocopiers called mirror neurons, and they're watching you like Pixar-level surveillance cameras. Every reaction you have, screenshot taken, behavior saved, updated to the cloud. You stay calm during their meltdown, their brain quietly practices calmness. You spill coffee, sigh, and say, "Welp, that happened." Their brain files it under, "Oh, mistakes don't require dramatic screaming." Fascinating. This copying system goes absolutely feral during emotional moments. Your kid spills juice. You inhale deeply before responding. Their brain, "Oh, we're doing the calm breathing thing." Noted. Months later, when they're frustrated and suddenly pause before exploding, that wasn't maturity. That was your mirror neurons running in their brain like free software. And here's the wild science part. Stanford found that kids who watch parents handle frustration calmly show 73% better emotional regulation 5 years later. Not because you explained it, but because you demonstrated it during those chaotic school run mornings where everyone's emotions were on fire except the actual toast. Kids don't learn emotional control from what you say. They learn it from your face, your breathing, your reactions. And that one time you didn't lose your mind when milk hit the floor. The next one is the exact behavior that makes kids confess sooner, even when they really don't want to. Number 4, the vulnerability superpower. Nothing builds trust faster than healthy vulnerability. Not trauma dumping your entire life story while they're eating Cocoa Pops, but the small human stuff. I don't know the answer. I get scared sometimes too. I messed up a lot at your age. That's the gold. Tell them, I failed my 5th grade science project. My volcano looked like a deflated croissant having a breakdown. Watch their whole face unlock, because suddenly you're not the all-knowing parent. You're a human who survived being terrible at paper mache. Kids don't trust perfect people. Perfect is intimidating. Perfect is unrelatable. Perfect screams, "You'll never measure up." But a parent who admits flaws, a parent who shares age-appropriate struggles, that parent becomes someone they can connect with, not compete with. The equation is simple. Your vulnerability plus their struggle equals instant connection. I still get nervous speaking in meetings. Turns their "I froze in front of the class" from shame into, "Oh, this is just a human thing." That shift right there, that's when trust starts to bloom. Number 5, emotional weather reports. Kids need you to be their emotional meteorologist before they'll trust you with their biggest storms. That means narrating emotions without judgment. Not blaming, not fixing, just calling the weather like you're on ABC News. Instead of, "Stop being so angry," try, "Looks like a bit of frustration drifting through the kitchen." Instead of, "Why are you crying again?" try, "Seems like some heavy feelings are moving in." Do it like you're David Attenborough studying a rare species. "The homework appears to be causing moderate to severe grumpiness. Fascinating creature behavior." This teaches your kid a truth most adults don't learn until therapy. Feelings are weather, not identity. They pass. They change. They don't define you. When you name emotions calmly, you're giving them a map. This is just a storm, not a personal failure. And your calm voice during their emotional tornado delivers the message every child desperately needs. Your feelings won't destroy us. I can handle them. And you're safe to feel anything here. That safety, that becomes trust. Number 6, the repair revolution. Here's a parenting truth nobody puts on Instagram. Perfect parents would absolutely ruin their kids. Why? Because kids don't learn trust from perfection. They learn it from what happens after you mess up. They need to see relationships survive the messy bits, the eye rolls, the snapped tone, the "I said it's bedtime" spoken with unnecessary Marvel villain energy. They need to witness real apologies that admit impact, not excuses. Not, "Sorry you felt that way." That's not an apology. That's emotional gaslighting in a trench coat. But, "I'm sorry I yelled about the spilled milk. That reaction was too big for such a small accident. You must have felt shocked, maybe even scared." That's not weakness. That's relationship CPR. Because every genuine repair builds more trust than a decade of calm, conflict-free afternoons. It teaches your kid relationships can survive tension. Conflict isn't the end. It's the beginning of understanding. Adults can own their mistakes without the world collapsing. Love doesn't disappear just because somebody messed up. When you screw up, pause, and repair, you're modeling advanced human skills most adults don't learn until their 3rd therapist. You're showing them how to reconnect after conflict, how to take responsibility without drowning in shame, how to stay close even when things break. And that lesson, that's trust in its purest form. Number 7, trust through micro moments. Trust isn't built during the big, dramatic, "we need to talk" moments. It's built in the tiny, boring micro moments that happen while you're half unpacking groceries or trying not to burn dinner. It's the eye contact you make when they're rambling about recess like it's a Netflix mystery. It's the phone going face down the second they start talking. It's remembering they hate pickles without being reminded. It's always the pickles. Kids take pickle loyalty personally. Each tiny moment is a quiet "you matter" added to their emotional bank. Their nervous system quietly records everyone. This person sees me. This person prioritizes me. This person actually remembers me, even the tiny stuff. And those tiny deposits, they compound like emotional interest. Dr. John Gottman's research shows it's not the big conversations that build connection. It's the small, casual check-ins when you're actually present. A genuine, "How was lunch?" where you actually listen, beats a scheduled heart-to-heart where you're secretly checking your phone like it's life support. Kids trust who shows up in the micro moments, not the dramatic ones. Number 8, the consistency code. Kids track your consistency like TSA officers for feelings. Not your perfection, your predictability. They're constantly scanning for patterns. Do they follow through on promises? Do consequences depend on the rules or the parent's mood? Is today chill parent or unpredictable volcano parent? Because for a kid, predictability equals safety. When they know what to expect, their nervous system can finally relax. They're not decoding your emotional forecast like it's the morning traffic report. They can just be kids instead of tiny psychic detectives trying to guess which version of you's walking down the hallway. And no, consistency doesn't mean rigid rules or robot parenting. It means reliable presence, steady warmth, predictable availability. Being the same safe person, whether they won the spelling bee or got suspended for the pudding-related science experiment that definitely wasn't in the curriculum. Kids don't need perfect parents. They need consistent ones. The kind they don't have to emotionally tiptoe around. Number 9, questions over corrections. If you want your kid to trust you, swap the Judge Judy energy for Detective Benson from SVU. Curious, calm, gathering clues. Because trust doesn't grow from, "You should have known better." It grows from, "Help me understand what happened." Questions open the door. Corrections slam it shut. When something goes wrong, don't pounce. Investigate. "Why'd you hit your sister?" reveals nothing. But what was happening right before you hit your sister might reveal she deleted his Minecraft world, stole his last snack, or breathed too close to him during a highly sensitive Pokemon trade. Context changes everything. And here's the surprising part. Kids repeat bad behavior less when they feel understood, not when they feel punished. Curious questions teach them, "I care about your experience, not just your compliance. I want to know your world, not just control it. You can come to me before the disaster next time." When you lead with curiosity, you become the safe person, the one they'll tell the truth to before it explodes into a crisis. Number 10, the long game. Trust isn't built in a week. It's built the same way your kids builds a Lego castle, one tiny brick at a time, and usually after stepping on a few. Every moment nudges the trust meter up or down. And the beautiful part? Kids are the most forgiving bankers on earth. You can mess up spectacularly on Monday and still rebuild by Friday, as long as you show up again with honesty and effort. Your teenager who currently communicates in grunts and lives in a mood-lit cave that smells like battery acid, they're silently tracking whether you respect their cave era, not whether you understand it, just whether you don't mock it. Because the trust you build right now is what decides whether they call you from their first heartbreak or from their first, "I think I messed up" moment in college. Play the long game. Today's tantrum, tomorrow's trust deposit, tonight's exhausting bedtime battle, next year's foundation for honest conversations about friendships, mistakes, and real life. Every moment matters, but no single moment ruins everything. Kids don't need perfect parents. They need parents who keep coming back. Number 11, the paradox of protection. The more you shield your kid from consequences, the less they trust you to handle real problems. They need to see you stay steady when they can't. Not fixing everything, not panic grabbing the wheel, just being the calm anchor while they wobble. Let them fail safely. Let them struggle a little. Be the safety net, not the bubble wrap. When you trust them with age-appropriate challenges, they trust you with their real thoughts, their real fears, their real mistakes. Because here's the truth. The kid who knows you won't freak out when life gets messy is the kid who brings you the mess, even if that mess is a secret turtle named Professor Shellington living in their closet for 3 weeks. Trust is built in those moments, not through control, but through connection and your ability to stay calm when the unexpected shows up. Your kid is always asking one silent question. Can you handle the real me? Every reaction you give is the answer. And